Alright, so it's time for support, but I'm gonna do what I can to max out all the relationships I can. So first things first, let's get Dimitri into do.
Your Highness, you still have scars on your back. It does you no good to languish in pain. I will procure some medicine.
No, it is fine. Though they are still deep, these are from 9 years ago. They do not hurt any longer. Besides, it would be a shame if the scars I got from protecting you were to fade. I bear these scars proudly. It makes me think that it was worthwhile that someone like me survived.
To hear you say such things.
Dedu, you say that I saved you. But do you know that you also saved me that day? If I had been unable to save anyone, I would have been the sole survivor. I would have had no reason to keep living. But I saved someone. Saved you. That and that alone has always been my crutch.
When I stood before those soldiers and their swords that day, I was prepared to die. But then, you suddenly appeared, and you shielded me. I knew then that a savior's hand could reach into even the deepest darkness. I still have not been able to repay that debt.
Have you not heard a word I've said? You have saved me in countless ways. 5 years ago, I did nothing but await my execution within my jail cell. Was it not you that saved me?
That was nothing more than my duty as your vassal.
Listen, Dedu, perhaps you consider me to be someone special, but I think the same of you. You are irreplaceable, cherished. So stop saying that we cannot be friends. Stop saying such awful things.
Please, do not look at me that way. You promised me you would build a kingdom that is proud to boast of Duscar blood. In this kingdom, where there is no distinction between the people of Duscar and the people of Fodlan, will I finally, without reservation, be able to call you my friend? Will I, Dimitri?
Dedu. Yes, you will call me your friend again and again, no matter how many hardships I must endure.
I will do all I can to bring about that world as well. To be your friend is what I have always wanted.
Is that so? I am glad to hear it.
But until that time, we must allow no harm to befall you. So please call upon me when you walk alone at night. And even when you go out in the day, please tell me where you are going and whom you are meeting.
In the end, I suppose there is no fixing your overprotectiveness, is there? I suppose I can live with that.
As is natural for all of these in-game relationships, or at least some of the major ones, you end up right back where you started. But, you know, that was nice. It really was.
Your Highness, I have one more favor to ask.
Is this about Gustav again? I have plenty more stories about him, but perhaps it is time for you to speak with him yourself.
Oh, it's not about Father this time. This time I wanted to ask about you.
About me?
I mean, I heard all about Father last time, but I didn't ask about you.
Ah, well, I'm afraid there is not much of interest for me to tell you.
Oh, it doesn't have to be funny or interesting. That's not why I'm asking. It's just that I thought I already knew you, but I'm not sure I really do. That day when we were reunited at the monastery, I didn't know what to say to you. So I wanted to prepare some of your favorite food. I thought maybe if you ate something that you liked, you'd cheer up a little. But when I got to the kitchen, I realized I didn't even know what you like to eat.
I see. Well, it's a little hard to say what my favorite is. I just don't really have any strong feelings about food. That said, you're pretty keen on sweet things, right, Annette?
Yes, that's right. I'm at my happiest when I'm digging into a sweet treat. Oh, did you know there's a famous sweet shop in the capital?
Yes. It often had long lines outside, didn't it? The castle guards often spoke of it.
The sweets were so good. They cost a fortune, but I loved them. When Father was still around, we all lived as a family in the capital. Since then, I've had them only a few times. How I'd love to taste them again.
Say, Annette, when this war is over, where will you go? I heard that you were close to Baron Dominic back in the academy days.
That's right. But that's not where I think I'd like to go when all of this is over. I reconnected with Father, so I'd like to live with my family again, in the capital. Also, if I'm in the capital, I'll be able to see you from time to time, right?
Ah, that settles it then. We'll have to get your father working twice as hard.
Father's at a ripe old age now. I'd appreciate it if you didn't work him too hard.
Oh, of course. I will keep that in mind.
Well, that seemed nice. There's still one more step to that. To do. Mirror. Alright.
Beautiful as ever to do.
What are you suggesting?
You're always busy delivering messages.
You mean His Highness's orders?
Does he need you to run such trivial errands?
He should not trouble himself over them. I am honored to attend His Highness, and to represent him in all matters. Ever since he saved my life, serving him has given me reason to live.
Reason to live. Huh.
Your relationship to the Archbishop seems similar.
Not quite. I joined the Knights to repay a debt I owed Rhea. The debt's been repaid, so she's nothing more than a former employer.
Then you are not motivated by loyalty.
Not especially. I wouldn't call Rhea my reason to live.
And if a higher-paying employer comes along?
I'd consider it. That's what mercenaries do.
Then yes, we are completely different.
Everyone's different. I'm not trying to criticize your loyalty. I've seen a lot of people like you all over the world. They don't tend to last very long, though. Try not to end up like them.
Thank you for the warning.
Okay, it's kind of funny to get this now, at near the end of the game. So it goes. The last big one for that.
Hello, Father. May I have a moment?
Of course.
I read all your letters. You never stopped writing them, did you? My birthday, Mother's birthday, every possible occasion, without fail.
Yes.
So why didn't you send any of them? If you had sent even one, we would have...
Each time I thought to send one, I could not do so. Such behavior belittled my penance. Time passed, and with it my feelings of guilt toward you and your mother grew. Even though I wrote the letters, I could not send them.
I would always talk about it with Mother. If only he'd write us at least once, we'd say. We waited and waited. All those long years.
I am sorry.
I'm tired of hearing it, so just stop. Your apologies change nothing. Send those letters to Mother. She'll be happy to hear from you.
I cannot.
In that case, why don't I send them?
I have given them to you. They are yours to do with as you wish.
All right then. I'll send them. You don't get to take it back afterwards. Father, you should know that they made me happy.
Happy?
Knowing that you were thinking of us all along. We were worried about you, Mother and I. Neither of us ever came out and said it, but we thought maybe you hated us. Were trying to forget all about us.
Never. I swear it on His late Majesty and on my homeland.
I see. All right. Then swear. Swear that someday, when this war is over, you'll come back to us.
I hear you, Annette. I will return without fail.
no matter what. That's a promise you just made. If you break it, I'll never speak to you again.
Yes, I promise.
Great. Now I'm positively elated. I can't wait until we're all a family again.
I look forward to it, Annette. More than anything.
Well, that's a nice happy ending for them. Happy for them. Layne and Manuela, huh? Alright.
Manuela, do you recall what you told me? You mentioned that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Well, I suppose I could share a little. Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power. No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it, because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me, now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Layne.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do. Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction. Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
Oh, you sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Layne.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request. I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
I imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then. But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain on a brand new performance. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That is exactly what I yearn for.
Oh, that's nice. It's a good thing we're at the end of the campaign. We will make this war end sooner rather than later. Alright. That's not all the supports that I want to get done. What I'm going to do, for the purposes of recording, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to build up some more supports with meals, and then we'll pick up when I've got more to share. Alright, another support. A single support. Ash and Cyril.
No good. I've lost sight of them completely, and those monsters might still be out there. I'd better get back to the monastery before dark. Ash! Ash! I finally found you. Cyril? What are you doing here? You're awfully far from your post.
I'd heard you'd gone missing, so I started looking for you everywhere. Here, I brought you a map. You can use this to get home later, right?
You came all this way for that? Alone? It's dangerous out here.
Am I being a nuisance?
Well, of course not. This is a big help, actually. You took a serious risk coming out here, though.
But I thought we were friends. That's what you told me, Ash. You said friends help each other when they're in trouble.
I did say that. You're right. Come on, let's get back to the monastery. I could use your help finding the way.
I know you could. That's why I came out here. Oh no, I just thought about it. I'm gonna be in trouble when I get back, huh?
Maybe. Leaving your post is against orders. But don't worry, I'll take a share of the punishment.
What? Why? You did nothing wrong.
True. We're friends, though, aren't we?
Friends gotta get punished together too? I don't know about all that.
I wouldn't put it like that. I'd say friends stick together, through good and bad. So, let's split the blame. That's what friends are for.
Wow, so that's what friends are for. Okay then, when you're in trouble next time and you need my help, I'll go with you to get punished.
Good. I hope you remember that, because I think we're going to be friends for a long time.
You betcha. Friends for life, Ash. That's a promise.
Okay. I'm still not satisfied though, so I'm gonna go back for more. More supports. Dimitri and Mercedes, let's wrap this up.
Good evening, Dimitri. Have you come to pray?
Something like that. And you?
Oh yes, that's why I'm here. I love how calm and peaceful the cathedral is this late at night.
It really is.
Coming here on a quiet night always makes me think of those who aren't with us anymore. We've lost so many in this war, too many to count. I hope they all get to live in eternal happiness at the goddess's side. These prayers are all I have to offer.
You are a kind soul, Mercedes.
I think you're kind too, Dimitri. Sometimes to a fault.
Kind? Me? No, not at all. I am just a killer. A disgusting monster.
But why do you kill? For the sake of your loved ones? Those who have passed? Real monsters kill for selfish reasons. They're incapable of expressing sorrow when they kill. So please, don't call yourself a monster.
Mercedes, I am scared. So scared that I will forget their faces. The people who have died. Who I have killed. I cannot let myself forget them. I know that, and yet... Whatever my feelings, it is all the act of a monster.
It's sad, but the truth is that people forget. You may be afraid to forget your past, but you'll never be able to revisit it. Living in the present is the best we can do. We owe it to those who can't come back.
If someone had said those words to me 5 years ago, I would be a different man today.
What do you want to do now, Dimitri? Continue fighting for those who have died? Not as a king, but as my classmate. What do you want to do?
My own dreams. I have never given it any thought. What about you? What do you want, Mercedes?
I want to keep sewing and training with you, even after you've become king. I want to be your friend.
But I have no right to stand beside you.
Please, I can't hear any more of this self-deprecation. I just want to be by your side. Is that so much to ask?
Mercedes. I want the same thing. If you allow it, I wish to stay by your side.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. Let's spend a little more time here together, just the two of us.
Oh, that's nice. Alright, Dedu and Flame, they had a thing going, so let's try to wrap that up.
Hello there, Dedu. I just want to say that I am really terribly sorry.
For what?
I tried to cook on my own. It was an absolute disaster. Adding that seasoning. Adding all that seasoning. What a mistake.
Mistakes happen.
But Chef, that is, I defied your instructions. Quite blatantly, I might add. I tried to cook before I had gained mastery over the tools. I have been a terrible student. Are you going to stop teaching me now?
Is that what you want?
Not in the slightest. I desperately want to learn from you.
As you were, then.
Truly?
You have not disappointed me. The food itself tasted awful, of course, but there was more to it than that. I could feel the thought you put into it, the wish to please others, to be faithful to what you've learned.
You actually ate the food I made?
I did. The ingredients were chopped to perfection. You also seem to have learned how to handle fish without my instruction.
I learned by watching you.
You have talent. One day you will surpass me.
I was certain you would be angry with me. It is decided then. Someday, you will exclaim that something I made is delicious. I do not quite know how many years it will take, but I am willing to rise to the challenge. Please help me get there.
I will. However long it takes, I look forward to it. Now, your next lesson will consist of the selection and seasoning of ingredients.
Of course, Chef. rather.
Call me whatever you want.
Oh, this is so exciting! Let me see. Chef Dudu, Master Chef Duda, oh, Supreme Chef Deddy Pie!
I suppose I've already committed.
Oh, poor Dudu.
Chef Deddles!
Poor Dudu. Never asked for any of this. Alright. Going back in for more support building. Alright, one more support. It's a struggle, but I'm getting there.
Hey Ingrid, how are you? I mean, what are you? Are you, off to train again?
No, I'm headed to town to buy supplies. But I'll be training after that, naturally. Why?
Oh, I just thought you looked serious as ever. I guess that part of you hasn't changed.
Of course it hasn't. I am as I ever was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you're right.
You're being weird. Have you always been this weird and I just never noticed?
No, I'm pretty sure. I don't think so. By the by, have you, fallen for anybody recently?
Don't be ridiculous. What are you even bumbling on about?
Well, everyone's been talking about how you got really, pretty. Just, all of a sudden.
Oh, you must be referring to the makeup. It's not a big deal or anything, just experimenting. I'm still learning. Did I mess something up?
Huh? No, I think it looks good. You did surprisingly well. I mean, considering that it's you.
Wow, Sylvain.
Very funny. But I must say, I'm a bit surprised. It's unlike you to stumble over yourself this much.
What? No, I'm not. I'm just, curious about why. All of a sudden.
Why what? Why I'm wearing makeup?
I'm still guessing it's for a guy. If I had to try and guess what sort of guy, I suppose I'd say... Felix? No, wait. I'm forgetting the royal line. Dimitri would be a way better catch.
Wow, way to make assumptions.
Is it one of the knights? If it's not them... Wait, could it be me?
Don't make me hurt you.
No need for violence, it was just a joke. I mean... It's not a joke that you're beautiful, but I wasn't trying to hit on you or anything. Promise.
Beautiful, huh?
Wow. Sylvain actually ran away. Incredible. Alright. Going for one more dive. Just gonna hope for the best. Alright, I tried my best, but I cannot get any more supports. So, that's it for that. Well.